Grant Cardone said it best. He said the biggest risk to being a millionaire is being a millionaire, because you think you actually have a lot because you've been programmed that it's a lot, and it's not a lot. And then what happens is you spend all this time and you make it, and then you start to protect it. The second you start to protect it and you're not making it anymore, it starts declining, because now I'm protecting what I have, and inflation and cost of rising goods and taxes going up. Inflation always goes up. So the moment that I'm not making it anymore and I'm trying to protect it, then what I'm holding on to is just a matter of time before it's fucking gone. You don't even have to make a mistake. Something happens economically and 10 grand a month ain't shit because we went to war. We don't control these old motherfuckers that run the country. BRICS could come up and devalue our currency to where it ain't shit. So you think you got $1 million in cash? Or what if one day we elect some president, he's like, cash is trash. We're all on digital currency and we're not gonna take any fucking cash that you got laying around. We're starting from scratch. What the fuck happens then? All right, there we go. Now we're back. So what's up, y'all? How you living?
Sitting on Business Podcast. Well, I'm living great. We just got back from the ranch. I got me some skin.
You look colorful.
You need that to survive.
Yeah, I got some tan. I'm looking good, man. I'm feeling good. The veins when I'm tan pop, bro.
You're obsessed with vascularity, man.
Yeah.
I'm at the point of the year where I stay sunburnt for about 6 months. You know, I'm red for the next 6 months because I'm an outside guy. And I go to the ranch, or I go to the pool in the backyard, or we go on vacations and things like that. And like, I'm an outside guy. So all winter, I'm like a yellow chicken. I'm just white as all get out, you know.
That's your word for me, not you.
I've got two skin tones, bright red and white as fuck. That's you know, I'm okay with that. That's
I
how
thought
God
you were yellow
made me.
chicken. Yellow chicken is not white as fuck. Yellow chicken is me with one coat of bronzer.
One coat of okay.
Just one.
All right, my little yellow chicken.
I am yellow chicken today.
Okay.
I wanted to be orange chicken. I didn't have time. My hair isn't orange. It's just the body.
Okay,
I love it.
It's different.
I love it.
It's different.
So let's talk about the ranch.
All right.
You have peace of mind. You're a different person on the ranch. So are you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like laid back most of the time, and at the ranch you're laid back. But you are like a different human being. It's powerful because we have a ranch mastermind coming up.
Yeah.
And I think it would be good for some people to understand what it's like to be out there. And you do it. You say it well. Shut your phones off. Turn you put your phone down. You embrace life. We'll go out and fish. We'll go out and do our things. We go into the canopies. We ride quads. We get to get familiar with the earth. And I don't know if enough people really understand the power of what that is when it comes to. I took off my boots and I was grounding. I looked that up. I don't know if that's real. But
It's
it felt
totally
good.
real.
Totally real.
It felt good.
Absolutely real.
Felt really good.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be an electrician. Really electrician's helper, because I never had a license, so I had to do all the bitch jobs when I was like a teenager. And you have to have a ground wire to, you know, ground the electricity. And we know that we're energy. Food gives us energy. We're just beams of energy trapped inside of skin. So, you know, and our ancestors didn't have shoes, you know, and if you think about it, if we're energy, I'm gonna blow your mind. If we're energy, and our ancestors didn't have shoes, and they relied on the ground to ground them, right? And they relied on their skin touching the ground. And now we have rubber soles. You know what doesn't conduct electricity?
Rubber.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that. You know, so there's got to be something to it. I'm no like expert on electricity or the human body, but I figure there's some sort of correlation there.
I think so.
But I like the ranch because we are most people live in urban or suburban areas, right? We're in the hustle and bustle of the city. There's fucking traffic everywhere. There's, you know, a massive amount of anxiety that's poured on us for being in the city and being in an office. And I love the city. Don't get me wrong. I love the hustle and bustle of the city. But man, when you get a chance to slow life down a little bit, and throw the phone away. And there was people that you know, the ranch is an important thing to me because we get to be a family out there. You know, we bring all of our coworkers out there to the ranch and a few of our clients and friends, and we're just hanging out. You know, we got Harlan chasing the dog and Zach shooting his AR-15 and you know, you and me riding around on ATVs, and my son's borrowing guns and shooting those from people, and it's just like there's on one hand it's loud as hell, people shooting, on the other they're over there drinking a couple beers, having a good time, checking out the river, rolling through the creeks, you know, getting mud and water on you, things that were probably, you know, help ground too, and that thing, but slowing all that down, and that's why I want to do a mastermind out there, is I've never done one before. And I don't think people understand the power of sitting a phone down, getting away from everything, and, you know, sitting out at Party Lake under the pavilion, having a talk about life and business and some of the struggles. Now that they won't be distracted by social media. They won't, you know, you're here for 2 days. Forget what the city's got for you. You can get back to that in a couple of days. Let's get behind the gate. Let's have candid conversations that'll never make it out of this area. Let's trap it here. Let's solve it here. Let's get your mind off all this other stuff and onto the things that you need to handle, so that when you go back and you got the anxiety and stress of the city, you can deal with that then. But let's get the answers while we're out here. Let's have a good, calm time. There's no cars honking at us. There's no, you know, people yelling at us. There's no line to wait in. There's just good people sitting back there having real, genuine conversations. And there's something about moving people out of a hotel, moving people out of a mansion, moving people out of an office building, and getting them back there surrounded by cows, right? Surrounded by dirt, surrounded by water, watching the water flow, and it just being quiet out there, hearing the birds chirp or the crickets chirp or whatever they are out there. And just, you know, just
It's
feeling
a good
that,
reset and good perspective reset.
It is, you know.
It does wonders for me.
Most people
coming back, yeah, it does wonders, because you say get away from the hustle. You have quite the, you know, it's not a hustle for you. You have quite the enterprise, and your enterprise is very stressful on me. So when
on all of us,
on all of us, I didn't know if you guys handle it different.
The Stewman enterprise,
Yeah.
it's a stressful
the
one.
enterprise that I'm now a part of, it's a lot, dude. There's a lot of moving parts, and not too
Yeah.
many things could possibly go wrong and keep the enterprise running the way that we do. So when I go to the ranch and I'm able to get out there with my wife and my kids and hang out with my son and watch my wife let her guard down and just hang out, have good talk. I had a great talk with Chris. Greedy.
Nice.
Gave me some perspective on some things I was struggling with, because I had some questions
He's a
about
great guy.
some faith and stuff, and really intellectual conversation we had. And so now you come back Monday, or go home that night, wash the truck, think about everything that I experienced, and then back at work. It's a different vibe. This whole week I'm jammed, and then we roll right into the events Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
and then
So
we'll be
it's
back
powerful.
Saturday with clients. You know,
You go back there Saturday.
That's the other thing is people come in,
magic.
our executives come in, our highest tier clients, they come in, we put them through Flying Friday, and it's like, hey man, if you guys want to get away, come out there with us. And there's guys like Alex Corona that are like, dude, I want to go out there and work with my hands, man. I'm always typing on keyboards and showing houses and shit, man. I want to go pick up sticks and rocks and you know, fix a fence. Like, put me to work out there. And then there's other people, it's like, you know, I just want to sit and enjoy the peace, you know, and it's my favorite place on earth. And I haven't been everywhere on earth, so you can judge me for that. But I wanted to find a piece of little slice of heaven on earth for me. And, you know, it's an hour and a half north of here. And when I get out there with my kids, they're different. When I get out there with my wife, she's different. You know, my dog's different. He was following us on the 4-wheeler, running 20 miles an hour, you know, but not even follow. He's running next to us, and I'm looking at the speedometer. It's like 20, 21 miles an hour, and he's right next to us, pacing us. That dog's never ran 6 miles in his life, you know, but it's a 3-mile hike to the house and back, and he's down there going one way or the other, and like he was loving it, you know, like he might shed a couple pounds, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing with the ranch is that, like, every day in our life we do so much strenuous work, but it's strenuous on our brain.
Yeah.
You know, we'll work out at the gym, but our life isn't really all that strenuous on our body, and our bodies were meant to do so much, and they don't get to do all that they're really are designed to do on a daily basis, right? And so being able to get out there to give your brain a break, because when you're doing like different tasks on the ranch, when you're moving wood, when you're just, you know, kind of getting this ready for there and getting the chairs for you know, all of us to sitting around and barbecue or something, it's simplicity. Like, you just being all around all of the nature in and of itself is relaxing, but it's just such a good reset on your brain. It's a reset on your body, because you're doing all these things you were really designed to do, right? Feed yourself, survive. And then you go back to the hustle and bustle of the city, where it's like, okay, you're just sitting in a chair all day and you're on a computer and you're stressed as hell in your brain. It's all these crazy things, the kids. And so it's you're bringing your body back to what you're supposed to do. And then you're able to do all of those things so much better because you're so grounded.
Do you believe it's definitely elevating our skill set at work?
Totally.
Right.
You're able to look
100%.
at things with such a good perspective, you know, and just take yourself out of, you know,
And you got some different people over there because you're acquiring a lot of land. Are you at 1,000 acres yet?
800-ish.
And Jimmy,
we're in the process. So
the type of people that are at the ranch, which is cool, which is Jimmy. You meet Jimmy. I introduced my wife to Jimmy. The first thing he did was took his hat off, shake my wife's hand, and bowed, right? And you don't see that anymore, man. That's a different type of dude. And you wouldn't mess with Jimmy.
No,
Jimmy's
not,
mean.
I don't recommend it. He's
you know
a bull rider.
He's a mean son of a bitch. You know, he's an Oklahoma boy, grown and raised, and they're talking about noodling. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down to try that. Why would I want to stick my hand in a catfish's mouth?
Hey,
is what I'm thinking.
You fuck
but
around and
Because
offer
you
that
have
to
to
them.
donate.
Yeah,
I'm
that'll
down.
make you do it.
You got to try it.
Yeah, so it was cool. It's
You
all
don't know if
good.
you like it.
And
Don't
people
try
are there, good people.
I get a little jealous of Jimmy and Mac, the guys that run the ranch out there, because their clients are cows, and cows don't complain, they don't bitch. They constantly fucking. That's got to be a great gig for a cow. They're like bulls. It takes 3 bulls to bang 100 cows. That's pretty impressive. You know what I mean? And they're all always pregnant. And so there's a lot going on that you don't see, apparently. A lot goes on in the nighttime.
That is so crazy. We go to the ranch and there's like 20 new babies like every other weekend.
time,
yeah.
And I didn't realize they're all cousins.
Yeah. Well, they separate them. So like
shit.
one herd's here and they put a bull in with that herd, then they'll rotate the bull to the next herd and take the baby. So there's a process that they go through there. But yeah, the ones that we see on our ranch are all cousins because it's the same father.
God, that's a good time.
They're all half siblings
Hanging
actually.
out.
They're all half siblings because it's the same dad.
That's
so
bananas.
That's what the bull said. Walk
That's
down and
giant
get
you walk
family.
down and get them all.
That
That's
is so
right.
them all. Down and get them all.
But it helps because again, you get out there and you're on a 4-wheeler, so you're not looking at your phone, or you're being situational awareness of a hog running up on you or a snake slithering by you. So there's situational awareness, so you're not distracted by the things you're distracted in the city, and it's fun. My the best thing that I've done for my family is buy that place because my kids, they're learning how to be men out there. And then most of the time they spend their time riding 4-wheelers and stuff, but they built forts and they're out there just being kids. I think the way that kids were designed to be in.
Yeah.
And we even have people like Chris, you mentioned Chris Greehey. He'll show up sometimes. A lot of times his son goes with us. And I forget one time before I knew him that well, he pulled me aside and he's like, dude, just thank you for helping my son come out here and escape and become a man and live off the land. I got to do that as a kid. I don't have the means to buy land right this second and get away like you do. So I appreciate you, bringing my kid along. And we've done that for a lot of kids over the years out there, taught them to ride 4-wheelers. And I got a kid 4-wheeler system so that everybody's safe, and taught a lot of kids, probably 5-10 kids, to how to ride 4-wheelers and keep them safe and responsibility. And I'll also get dead on their ass if they're acting up, and the parents are like, you should probably listen to Mr. Stewman. He's kind of a violent guy. And it's like I tell, come back, Mr. Stewman yelled at me, what did you do?
Right. It wasn't for nothing.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice too, because my son, he's 17. He's got a job. Actually, not a job here. He had a job when we were previously in Arizona. He had a job and a girl, and I'd ask him to do a lot of things. And it was always, no, I'm busy. You got stuff to do. And I get it. He's 17, right? And now he doesn't miss the ranch trip ever. He asks if we're going.
Yeah.
And so that's brought us closer together as father and son. We're really close as it is, but to have that extra time with him is even more special.
He is happy as hell out there,
He
man.
loves it
I
out
saw
there.
him.
He
He was just
just
cruising out
disappeared.
by himself. Like, he took his shirt off and he's just like by himself, cruising around, checking things out. And man, that kid he just perma smile all day long.
I
It
got
was
him working
awesome.
with Mac this summer doing fences and stuff. Mac's like, send them down. We got fences to build. We got a lot to do.
We're about
Oh
to do
my
all that
gosh.
out there.
So
Yeah.
doing that kind of work gives you so much confidence as a kid. Like knowing that you're physically capable. Like when you get tasks in school, when you get tasks in a job, knowing that you can like physically handle yourself. Oh my gosh, you like face shit head on 10 times better
agree.
than you would when
And
you
living out there, being
Powerful.
away from women as a young man, being away from the distraction
Yes.
of a woman, being away from the distraction of the city and the bars and all that stuff, and working on a fence and being too tired at the end of the day to go get into trouble. That's huge. You know what I mean?
Massive.
That's huge.
Yeah, because I've been wearing him out too. Massive. It's huge when your kid can go to sleep, pass out, not stay up and play video games 2 more hours after their day.
Yep.
Because they're
Yes.
exhausted. It's absolutely a power move to
Yeah.
how you're raising your child. But so the ranch is one thing, but how you got to the ranch was your business enterprise. And you two got a big thing coming down this year. that
Yeah.
I don't know what you can say or what we can talk about. So I'll just ask the question. You started a lending company 5 months ago. Everybody was like, oh, it won't work. It's doing this. The shit I hear, it's just crazy, right?
I get so tired of people
It's just-
doubting me. I'm like,
it's
y'all
wild,
got
right?
they've got to be as tired of being proved wrong as I am of them doubting me.
It's
You
just
know,
it's just a comic.
But
It's
this is what I said at
ridiculous.
the event last week. I said it's just like when your family hates on you for being successful. It's because you have done everything wrong in your life. You've been divorced, you've been to prison twice, yet you are crushing it. So what's their excuse? People that haven't had the success you
pill to
are want to
swallow.
see you fail because you remove all the excuses.
Yep.
If you can do it, they surely can do it. If they're
Yeah.
not doing it, they're just lazy.
So
And-
you had to reach.
I
Go ahead,
try
I'm
to
sorry.
be that example. And
You
I try
are.
not to be that
So you're-
example.
you're not
look
trying
at,
anymore.
Look at me
Yeah.
running up the score. It's not that. It's like I feel like I physically and mentally can't fail at this stuff because I have to show people that no matter where you come from or what circumstances or your past, what's possible. But yet so many people they look for, and it's not a lot, but it's enough that it's annoying that so many people, like something goes wrong, Sean, let's say that one of our guys quits. They'll go, oh, I knew it. When an employee quits, they never quit and say, I work for the greatest dude ever that did so much for me. Or maybe they get fired. This guy that worked for me poured so much into me. Irresponsible people don't leave an organization and then become responsible. And then I feel like some of the people that watch us, that sometimes I think that I like them, and sometimes I thought they like me. The employee may go start a rumor, and they're like, "Oh, I knew it. I knew he couldn't be." What the fuck? You don't know shit. First of all, you're listening to somebody that we fired. And second of all, you're like. Why don't you believe me? I've never given you a reason not to. I've been 100% transparent with everybody and shown you, but I know why. It's because they want me to fail so that they have an excuse to fail. Well, tough luck, motherfuckers, because you're going to have to fuck your excuses and learn that I'm not going to fucking fail. And that is an example for you to quit waiting on me to fall down the hill and climb that motherfucker with me. With me, not against
Stay
me.
with us.
Don't compete
Honestly,
against me. Climb it fucking with me.
I think it's really twofold, though. A, you achieve all of this despite where you've come from, but
With
B,
no investors.
B, you are notorious for telling people the hard truths about them, about some of the event. You give people the hard truth that nobody else says. You are so brutally honest. You have called out people, like it's sometimes publicly, but most of the time you're a nice guy and you just privately call them out on their bullshit. You have called out giant names, giant influencers. You've called out people like, hey, what the fuck, man? I know you're talking all over the internet that you own this, that you don't own that. I know the guy who does. You're talking all this and then they try to make you, oh, you're an asshole. No. They want to say that because you're not afraid to say the truth.
Because I don't have a lie that they're going to uncover.
But most people,
that's the difference.
most people are
So
they care more about having friends. Like, oh, this guy. I'm not going to tell. No, you tell people straight up. Like, why are you doing that? That's not right.
Because I want them to be better. It's not
Yeah.
that I want to insult them or call them a liar. It's like Jeremy Miner was here last week, and nice guy, Mr. Rogers of sales, and I think that got under his skin a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know who said that, but somebody
it's
told
true.
that to
He's
you.
a very nice guy. Most
nice
sales guys are kind of bullyish. If you think about who the sales leaders are, most of them are a little bullyish, and Jeremy's style is totally different. Great dude. And he and I are talking about another training company where the leader of that company's saying this enormous number that's 5 or 6 times what it actually is. And he's like, dude, that guy should be fucking proud of the number that he is putting up.
Right.
There's no need to exaggerate that. That's like I see people all the time and
So
they're
many
like,
people
I had a
do
guy
that.
this morning. Oh, we do $300 fucking million a year in real estate, because that is not $300 million a year. That's like 5 or 6 million at most. And fuck the 300
Big
million.
difference.
Yeah, fuck the 300 million. $5 or $6 million a year in America is fuck you money. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says. This is how money works for people. If you can make $500,000 a year in personal income, you're at the 0.01 fucking % of this country. And if you can do that 4 or 5 years in a row, here's what happens. Year 1, you go buy a nice home, right? Year 2, maybe you're driving if you're smart, sensible, financial, maybe you're driving a nice Benz or a high-end car like a G-Wagon or maybe a Porsche or something like that. And then, you buy a Rolex for cash, you buy a car and you don't have a payment, you buy a house, you got a small mortgage. Then after a few years of making all that money, you run out of shit at 500 and above. You run out of shit to buy. You run out of shit to buy. There's I have for me, I have the dream house, I have the ranch, I have the office, I've got a Rolex, I've got, a nice car. Fuck, I don't shop on Amazon. I don't go to Nordstrom for clothes. I don't have anything else that I need to buy that's not going to make me money. Now I'm buying shit to make money all the time as an investment. But you run out of all those dreams that were on your board once you get the car, the house, and the Rolex, and maybe the pinky ring or whatever the fuck you're into.
The pinky
After
ring.
a while, you run out of shit to buy, and then you just have this surplus of cash. And you can invest it, and you can grow with it, and you can buy real estate with it. Then you start to realize, this watch, these fucking Rolexes, it's not even the right time. Like, what is it? It's 135. This thing says it's 140. They're never fucking correct. So it's nice, and it's a status symbol, but it is, if you're using this motherfucker to tell time, it is wrong every time, right?
Yep.
And you realize that, the bigger goal here is to create a legacy for my family. The bigger goal here is to create wealth that pays me, and I can use the wealth that pays me to go buy the luxury items, right? If I go buy 5 rent houses and I make $500 per house, now I got $2,500 a month. I can go buy the Porsche with that $2,500 a month and never miss a fucking beat.
Yep.
And so many people don't understand that. And so, but we have all these what I call internet panhandlers that inflate their numbers. And it's like, oh, we did 500 million. We did 300 million. Bro, just tell people that you made $4 million. That is fucking amazing. That is crazy amounts of money. And you're so wrapped up in these big numbers that you don't realize how big the fucking little number that you're trying to hide from the public is.
Yep.
Powerful. Like the CEO of, let's say, a company like Best Buy, right? That CEO probably didn't make $4 million last year. The CEO of Exxon may have stock options and investments and shit, but his salary probably wasn't $4 million. The guys that make $4 million, $10 million a year, they're like Apple, fucking SpaceX, like Tesla.
Right.
They're like the CEO of General Motors may not have made $4 million last year. That's how much fucking money that is. And then people try to fucking cover it with be proud of the real thing. I pay all the bills out of my salary. That's a W-2 salary. Hers is a W-2 salary.
For that.
And she's been making that money before she even worked here, because I have this theory that if the husband and wife both own the company, it shouldn't just be one of them getting paid. It should be both. So Amy was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and still paid her off because that's her interest. That she wasn't actively in the building.
That now that I'm the CEO, I didn't ask for any kind of pay increase, and I don't want any pay increase. And obviously, we own the company, but I don't need that much. I'm such a
I pay all the bills.
Yeah, but still, most women nowadays, I just had a conversation 2 days ago. It's like, oh my gosh, I haven't made, 10, 20 grand a month. And it's like, what do you need that for? Do you really need a new Chanel every week? Do you really
whatever
do you really
Amy wants, she
all
gets
that?
anyway.
Yeah. Right.
But it's I don't know. There's so much obsessiveness with excess nowadays. I can't even deal.
My bank account's never empty. We never tap into the company accounts other than business expenses. We have a shit ton. We own 35 acres in the richest county in Texas. We own 800 acres, or in the process of acquiring more, up to 811 acres in Ardmore, which is one of the richer counties, in Carter County, which is one of the nicer counties in Oklahoma. You don't need that, and that's only at 620. So these guys that are making $4 or $5 million a year, and look, we pay taxes on way more than that, unfortunately, but we don't really see it because we've decided this is what we're going to live off of, and we do our best to spend the rest on things that are going to build, the business up, hiring people, buying a building, things of that nature. The excess shit is just foolish, man. And I see guys all the time, ladies too, that'll hit me up and say, I'm making $500,000 and I'm out of money. It's like,
how?
What the fuck are you? But I look at some of my friends and I see their kids wearing Gucci fucking clothes and shit. I'm like, there's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
My biggest expense every year is private school. That's my biggest expense, And Amy, the other day, she's telling me about the kids' khakis to go to school in. And she's like, they're like $50 a pair or whatever that number was.
$38.95.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, let's just figure out who the manufacturer is and the color, and we'll cut the fucking school out and go get the pants direct. Fuck them, right? Like that. But that's how I think. It's like, how can we save $15 a pair of pants? Fuck that shit. That's ridiculous.
I don't have time.
Right?
Nancy drew that down, but I appreciate the,
But again, our kids,
Appreciate
they
that.
wear stuff from, Nike, not Gucci. They wear, normal shoes, not $400 pair of shoes and stuff. They're going to grow out of it. I tell Amy all the time, like, Colton should be wearing Jackson's old shit. It's
How
He
I grew up.
does.
Yeah. That's how we grew up.
Yeah.
So you had all this.
Hand-me-downs
You've
are
done
a
this.
thing.
You've built this. You've acquired a lot. I always tell everybody, there's two things I've noticed about you now that I'm with you side by side, and you too. You're an activator of people. You get them to activate the shit that's inside of them, and you get them to play the game the proper way, and you acquire and the masses. You acquire money, you acquire land, you acquire the right stuff. And so now 5 months after opening your lending institute, you're getting an offer to sell.
Yeah,
What's that like?
We have a meeting today. First, even if things don't work out and it's not the route we decide to go, it's nice to be noticed. So there's
Noticed by a big boy too.
Yeah, there's 2 companies that I've built to ultimately sell. That's like the metaphorical notch on my bedpost that I haven't been able to carve in it, right? And I've built a company to 8 figures. I've built a 9-figure portfolio of investments, and that's not all mine. Again, I'm not an internet panhandler, so that's investments that sometimes I have with partners and stuff. But if we're really being real, it's a 10-figure portfolio from some of the investments we have, but it's not all ours, right? But 9 figures in real estate, 8 figures alone in real estate, no partners, none of that shit. Never raise money for anything. Don't have people out here that have equity in any of this stuff, right? And
which is unreal.
And so I'm not asking the public to pay my fucking bills. Hey, I'm looking for a cap raise for this fucking project. No, I go fucking make the money and buy a project, or I buy a smaller project because I don't have the money. First of all, my thought process is, if I'm good at something, why would I share it with other people? If I can go do it myself, why would I share it with other people? Number 2 is, I don't want the responsibility that if it goes wrong, me having to pay other fucking people. I've had investments in the past where, I told somebody, hey, you should put in on this deal, and it went wrong, and I fucking covered their loss on it. I'll never do that again. Never. I shouldn't have done it then, but I'll never fucking do it again, because I'm not going to ask anybody to invest in something. They're like, hey, I'm thinking about getting in this deal that you're in. I don't know. Could go wrong. Like Jeremy said, could be trouble. I don't know. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not endorsing anything. If I put money in this land or a house or whatever, shit could go to zero. I don't know. It could burn. It could flood and insurance not cover it. I don't fucking know. And so, I say that because it was nice for them to notice. We sent them a lot of business. We've sent them 8 figures in business in a short period of time. And they're like, where the fuck are you get these leads from? And I'm like, well,
Built my machine.
Yeah, I built my machine. Pay attention, Apex.
Yeah.
Right? I built my machine, and over time, people trust me, and so it is nice for them to be like, hey, we'd like to buy you guys, and we'd like to absorb you guys into our organization and make you something bigger. But I got to figure out what their goals are, because I'm not trying to just I've only been at this 5 months. So if I built this to sell in 5 years. If I sell now, then I'm a little short on the money the upside that I could make, without them giving me some sort of stake in the other parent company that's going to absorb us. And if those guys don't want to sell that company, then I'm kind of fucked too. So there's still a little bit of a chess match here, because, I'm selling a little early. If I go through this and I sold a little early, then I'm taking a smaller dollar amount than I would 5 years down the road, right? But if they're willing to take that dollar amount, let me reinvest some or all of it into their organization with some kind of succession thing to get equity in that, that's great too. But if then they're not interested in selling that in the next 5 years, then I got to be back to square one. So nothing's promised, because I've still got my own personal goals. But regardless of how this comes, the fact that someone's like, holy shit, this is what the guy said. He said, we've been doing this for 17 years, and we do cold calls, and we do business associations, and I had no idea that you could get business from social media like this in our world. And I was like, man, people. And he's like, what do you use, LinkedIn? I said, no, I use Facebook. Really? Why not LinkedIn? First of all, LinkedIn's boring as fuck. People log into LinkedIn once a month. They're on Facebook 2 or 3 times a day. The business owners that are on LinkedIn are on Facebook too. So why would I go to the place where they're not frequently instead of being the place where they're at frequently?
It's a different guard on Facebook too versus LinkedIn.
It is. We're all friends.
Yeah.
It's neurolinguistically programmed for us to be friends, and people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yep.
And LinkedIn's professionals, it's like, this is what I do for a living. It's fucking boring. Nobody wants to talk about your business all the time. Nobody. I don't care if you're in the business of Lamborghinis. Nobody wants to talk about business all the time. People want to see your family. They want to see the things that you do, the vacations that you take. When we went on vacation 2 weeks ago for the weekend, our views on Facebook and our stories were like 3 times higher than they normally are, because people like to be a voyeur into other people's lives. That's the whole point of social media, is an online diary of what you're doing in real time with your life that you can share with people.
And this guy's hilarious on vacation. I don't
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
If you know.
It's funniest guy I've
fucking
met.
bald chicken. Bald chicken. So when you get a massage and, like, as a man, they start rubbing your inner thigh, and they come really like millimeters close to touching your balls, but they don't ever touch them. It's like bald chicken. And I'm sitting here going, man, I'm gonna scream like a woman that's seen a mouse if they touch my balls. I'm not sure how. Nobody's touched my balls but a doctor and my wife for like fucking 10 years. I don't know that I can let a stranger do that. So
It's not supposed to happen either.
There's something I was going to refer to from before this began, but I'm not going to because you're mad at me. But can I just say that the whole bald chicken, like, this happened. Okay, it was at about 4 p.m. poolside.
Margarita 30
at the resort.
Yeah.
Margarita 30, maybe even Margarita 45. I don't know, but it's later in the afternoon at the resort, Sean. Okay, it's a little quieter. It's a little quiet, serene. There's a little pool vibes going on the speakers. All of a sudden, Ryan pulls out his phone. Have you ever played bald chicken before? And I'm just like,
I'm loud.
Where'd that come from? What did you see?
Well,
what are you talking about?
reverberating to the ocean.
In prison,
Talking about bald chicken.
in prison, they play something called gay chicken. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, right? Like,
no.
just, and so that's
We
where I
don't need
got
to
that
talk
from.
about any more chickens
So
That is hilarious.
who's
That's
gonna
funny.
chicken out? Like,
Lock
who's
it
gonna
up
be
on the chicken talk.
Who's gonna be the one
Stewman.
that's chicken?
Lock it up.
Okay, all right.
That's enough. You're comfortable with that, but not the other thing we were talking about.
No, that's close to gay chicken. No, it's not.
Okay. No, I get it. It's just interesting to see where your comfortabilities lie and what you can talk about with all Stewman.
About
So that'd be
Margarita
cool.
30.
You're gonna
Standing
be
on Business podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
we're gonna have Stewman in a suit next week, right? Is that the deal? Suit
No.
and tie Stewman,
Yeah.
president of a bank.
I gotta
That's pretty
see it.
cool.
I'm gonna get him a
Can I
stretchy
be-
suit.
can I be-
I think that'll make it happen.
Can I just be real for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
So many, like, and we've discussed this on previous episodes, but so many people copy me that I'm thinking about putting a suit on. That because so many people are now wearing the black
Bring the suits
t-shirts
back.
with the tattoos, and so I'm gonna bring the suits back.
It's a influencer starter pack that you created. Tattoos.
It is
Black shirt. We're gonna make a meme for it.
the only
McLaren.
problem. The only problem with suits is it is ridiculously hot in Texas. And you sweat your ass off in a black suit because it's a shirt, a jacket, pants. It's a whole, and it's very, very warm, so it's hard because I'm a sweater.
So are we
I
talking
leak.
about some like linen pants then?
No, I
But
can't do it.
Can you be
You'd look
sold
great.
if the price is right? Do you have a number where you're showing up to this
Yeah.
office in a bank branch
Ooh.
5 days a week with a suit and tie?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
What
Like
is
the
that
right-
number?
happen.
Because
The
I'll
watch.
ask for
It's
The
it.
gonna
right
happen.
amount of money, I fucking do anything, dude. I'm a dancing bear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I
15
won't do
mil?
anything that
50 mil?
compromises my salvation with God. I won't do anything that compromises
No,
my
I'll
marriage.
ask
I
that.
won't do anything that compromises my integrity. But if someone's like, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars and that X is a big X and you got to put a suit and tie on, fuck you. I'm suiting and tying it. I don't even know how to tie a tie, but I'll learn, you know?
I'm going to make that wing the bank.
Anybody that would say,
Yeah, that's
oh,
the
I would
plan.
never
Yeah.
do that, you would be fucking stupid
Idiot.
not to, right? If that's the requirement, let's say they want to pay me $10 million a year, right? On top of what I'm already making. And they're like, the catch is you can't cuss and you have to wear a suit and tie. Done, son. Well, get the frick out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
done.
I'd be talking like Ned Flanders in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy macaroni. Right? I got no problem, bro. But that doesn't
It's
make
on,
me a
dude.
worse person.
Can we
You know,
do
it's
that?
not like they're
Closer.
asking me actually to be better. Hey, don't cuss and wear a suit and tie. We're gonna give you $10 million a
I
year.
have all kinds
Cool.
of ideas for Halloween next year now.
There's something that's coming
yeah.
from this. There's something that's going to happen because I was talking with Jennifer last night that because this is going to be a bank branch, right? And then I talk about your background and your felonies and the president of the bank and all these things they said you couldn't do. Like, dude, it's unstoppable. I tell people the activator and the manipulator, multiplier, right? But then people that get around you feel powerful because that's a great story to tell.
Yeah.
5 months ago, you started a lender, they laughed at you, and 5 months later, you're looking at it be acquired, whether it happens or not, but you're still in the run. It's pretty cool to be around.
And
It's
what
a
do you
it's a
see on the
lesson.
internet? A bunch of people becoming lenders now too.
Yeah, I noticed that. And 3 people in particular
Yeah.
that have modeled
Now
you
of a
for the
sudden they
last
just-
5 years.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. It's like he's doing this. We better jump on it too.
Yeah.
It's like go get your own girlfriend. Get off mine. You know.
Yeah.
Go
They won't
get
be
your-
able to. They won't be able to feed it though because they don't understand
They don't
They don't
work.
understand the machine
Yeah.
theory
Yeah.
behind the machine. Apex, build your machine theory. That's really hard to get into and understand.
Well,
I've
you
been
know
doing
what
it
it
5
is?
years, and mine's finally starting to kick off.
You know what it is? It's
Right? They'll quit.
consistency.
Yeah.
People want overnight success. People want to go to the gym and have abs. People want to go and do what we preach for a couple of days, and then it's just. It's not sexy. Work isn't sexy. Like the money's in the mundane. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you're consistent and you do the boring stuff constantly, you have to do the boring stuff constantly.
Billions are in the
without
boring.
fail every day.
Billions are
and
in
be
the boring?
relentless. Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Look, you
Billions
can
in
get
the
to $1
boring.
million selling
Just one
sexy
up to
stuff.
my mundane.
You know, you can.
Why don't you?
You can probably make yeah, exactly. You can probably make $1 million being an internet influencer with a Lamborghini and selling protein powder or whatever it is that you're into. That's cool. You could probably make $1 million, maybe a few $1 million, but you're never going to be a billionaire doing that until you learn KPIs, SOPs, culture building, being a leadership,
Fulfillment.
building a branding, running an operation, being an operator. And you know what? Couple $1 million a year, like I said earlier, that's a lot of money. That's good, but that's not for me.
No.
Yeah.
That's where
not
you
for me.
transition from influencer to the industry leader.
That's not for
It's
me.
it's a sexy transition, and it's a lot of it. So you two have a big year ahead of you.
Every year.
Yeah, but this year is the first time I'm a part of it.
Yep.
So
Lucky you.
I've been watching, but I'm a
Welcome
part of it. And it's
aboard.
cool to see. So you have MDM coming up. You have the Ranch Mastermind. You have
Yeah.
MDM. You have this 3 days of people coming in. What else we have?
2 days
planned?
last
Cabo
week.
coming up. Like
So-
the calendar is full. I'm looking at my calendar. Like there's
Yeah.
very little room to do anything. So you got to get your schedules lined up. How do you guys manage that together? And what's the future look like this year? Got some more
let me
stuff on
ask
your
you
plate?
this. But before we answer that, so you've been here for 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
4 months.
And when you come here, you've known me from a distance. You know, we met in person once, maybe twice. So you know me from a distance. You know me online, and you've been a part of our programs. But then you come here, and you know you're like, and I'm asking you this is like, oh, this shit's better than I thought, worse than I thought. This guy's and his wife are not who I thought. They are who I thought. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, it's because I think the outside needs to hear this. Like,
Okay.
because you're the closest thing to an outsider in this room because
Yeah.
you're brand new here.
Mm-hmm.
So you arrive here and shit's in chaos when you arrived here. But like tell the world, like, you know, whatever it is that you felt that is really going on around here.
Tell us how you really feel, Sean.
I had no idea.
I promise I won't
Apex-
fire you.
Okay, I had no. Thank you.
That's my job now, sir.
Yeah, that's not your job anymore,
Step
buddy. But
It's true.
It's up to her. One, I had no idea how your portfolio was so put together. Apex is, you could lose Apex, like you said, that would suck, but it's not. I'm not gonna. You don't lose anything if you lose. You know, the millions of dollars Apex brings you. You don't rely on Apex. I had no idea you had such a large portfolio. I had no idea you were so well put together financially with an infrastructure that is really powerful to see now that I've been able to see behind the scenes. Like, you'd have to really fuck shit up for you to go bankrupt. Like, not even care anymore. You'd have to, you know, get divorced from Amy, to quit working,
Start
and
a heroin
probably do
addiction,
that. Yes,
you know.
yeah, really fuck up.
Really.
So I didn't realize how well put together you were. The aspect of Apex that was a mess was because, I'm not going to go into why it was. That was, well, yeah, I should. Because you knew what you wanted, but you wouldn't get there with the people you had. You had
Right.
too big of a heart to fire them, I think. maybe.
Yeah.
And then now that we're aligned and she's the boss, it's really coming together because now we have clarity and the mission going one way. So Apex is becoming the machine that you built. You had Apex here doing some weird shit, but your personal life and financial life and investment deals and banking, that was on point. That was on point. But then you had so many people involved. Like the more you have, right, the harder it is to control. Yeah. And with your association and your love of Apex and trying to make everybody feel better, that's not how that works, bro. Humans are flawed, fucked up people. And you gave so much to the wrong people trying to better their lives. So what I found is like, man, this guy's really got it together for himself and his wife and his empire over here. But with the people that he cares about, he cares too much about the wrong, and he has a hard time cutting fucking people out. Yeah. And that's when I found you had a massive heart. I thought you were the stone cold fuck. You're not. You were a big old teddy bear with an outer shell of a hard
ugly face and a rough voice.
To protect that heart of yours.
I want to find a tattooed
teddy
bear.
I didn't realize, to answer the question, I didn't realize how much you cared about humanity in general and the people that will work with you. So if you roll with you, you're going to have a great life. If you go against you, I've never seen anybody leave you and succeed. Not one time. And I have 5 names. They were doing really well with you. They went away from you and against you, and they have not gone on and to do more than that they were doing with you. So the partnership and the ally is run with us.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to run? There's plenty of money. An unabundant man or unabundant thinker would leave to try to get more. But if they just partner with you, it's going to be a great life. My credit has gone up. My money has gone up. My relationship with my wife has gotten better. And the 4 months being surrounded by you. You're a winner, bro. You're a winner in life, and you do it real.
Zach and I were looking into somebody the other day, and we realized that we gotten this person laid a few times. We realized that we gotten this person life-changing money,
got them paid,
and got them paid, got them laid, and at some point this person was like, you know what, I'm gonna shit on Stewman and go do my own thing. It's like, but why would you do that? Your life is better with me. Your life, you're getting laid and you're getting more money and you're in better shape and you're expressing yourself and being free and being the real. Like, why would you leave me? I got you this far. Now you're going to regress back.
That's why I'm unstoppable.
Make everything look easy.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of people their ego thinks, oh well, if Stewman can do it, I can too. Cool. Let's do it together. Fuck. Quit being a greedy fucking scarcity mindset motherfucker and let's do it together. If I'm evangelizing 2,000 people and then you become the best version of yourself, let's evangelize 4,000 people.
Well,
and then why not take people out of that 4,000 and make them better? And let's evangelize 10,000. The world has no shortage of people that need a better fucking life. The world has no shortage of people that need core values. They need to have a set of core values. They need a life mission. They need a better life for their family. There's no shortage of those people. So why would you leave and try to separate those people into your group and mine when we can have a super fucking group if we're all just leaders for the people that we're pouring into?
Because they're losers and that loser mindset that they get around people and they get persuaded by average ass mediocrity mindsets. And I think that's what makes me, and I'm coming to realize this, me dangerous because I didn't know my identity until really about 2.5 years ago. What makes me super dangerous is I know my role within your company. I'm the greatest number 2 in the world, and I know that. I know it, and I get to do this. And if I look at the numbers, by the time I'm 50, and I'm looking at 20%, let's say I'm 20% off in the scale rate of the company, my pay plan, dude, I'll be worth 25 million rolling with you.
Maybe
those are numbers. Those are that's a 5-year number because of what I get to invest in, who I get to meet, the allies and all these partnerships, but they don't think that way. They're so short-sighted of right now. I'm not short-sighted. I'm trying to figure out what I can get done with you in 10 years, 15 years, not the next 6 months to a year. You know what I'm saying? And I think
everybody going to get worse. I'm only going to get better. So why not grow with me?
And so people look at it. Okay, what can I do now in 6 months and a year? And it blinds them.
You said yesterday yourself that you take very complicated things and you manage to make them very simple.
That's what I do.
That combined with you always like doing the hard work, doing the mundane, like that combined is what makes you.
And you give credit to people.
That's your superpower.
Yeah. Another thing, dude, you give credit to people. So I don't know why. Fuck them. They're not here. Who cares?
I think
they're missing out, man. Now you got a super team.
But and we do, and it's not just the employees or just the clients. It's just like, man, we can all. Here's what I know: if we're all on a team And my role is the leader. That doesn't mean that I don't mow the yard. It doesn't mean that I don't have to occasionally sweep the office. It doesn't mean that I don't pick up the phone and make sales, or that I don't go code a website. Like, I'll do whatever, but my job is the leader. But whatever the job, there's a gap, the leader steps in and leads by example in that gap, right? So many people, they want to be the leader, but they don't have the leadership qualities because they haven't built something. They don't have the core values. They don't understand what it takes to be the leader. And it's like, my position is the leader. Her position is CEO. Your position is COO. Kate's position is sales. Monico's position is media. That doesn't mean that I'm better than them. I don't want them to call me boss. I don't say, hey, call me boss. Like, I'm not the boss. I'm the leader. It's different. The leader is an example, right? And people don't understand, whether it's the group of Apex or whether it's phone sites or whether it's Closer Capital, the more you'll just rally around and take the vision from the leader, the better your life's going to fucking be. The second that you go try to be a leader, and a lot of people think they want to be the leader, but they like, I want to be the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I can't throw a football for more than fucking 15 yards. It's never going to fucking happen, right? Now, so that's not what I aspire to do. I'm envious of Patrick Mahomes because he's won several Super Bowls and he's a great celebrity that's on TV, makes tons of money, blah, 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 blah. But I know that that's not for me. So I'm not going to go, you know what? I'm leaving phone sites and going to go fucking try out for the Kansas City Chiefs, only to come back with my tail between my legs and never admit to fucking phone sites that I made a mistake because my ego's too big, right? And so many people, they don't understand, like, they could have been a number 2 or a number 3, and that made them worth $20 million, but they want to go be a number 1, and they were never in the ability or the position to be number 1. It was their ego that made them be number 1, and then they're worth fucking $500,000.
Yep. That's how it works.
If we'll all rally around a leader and take the vision from the leader and move the ball down the field that way, we'll go so much further together, right? If somebody leaves here and they're like, I'm going to go start my own consulting business, cool. Welcome to doing in a year what you could have done around here in the next 2 or 3 years in a month. Welcome to the pain of what you don't know that you're about to discover that goes on behind the scenes that the leader has to deal with that you ain't fucking cut for, bro.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. It's the ultimate shield. You like I say, you are the ultimate shield. And I think a lot of times too is we speak it to them that they're not followers of you. We follow you. We're not your followers.
Just because I'm a leader doesn't make somebody else a follower. It doesn't.
Yeah, I'm going to break this down so hopefully people can understand this too. We follow you, your leadership. And as we follow you, we become better leaders for the people that will follow us.
Absolutely.
And those people that follow us become leaders for their community, and that's how you affect a million lives.
Exactly.
Tens of millions of lives. And some people think it's like, oh, I'm a follower. You're not a follower. You're following a leader to become a better person, and then become a leader for the people that will follow you. And it goes down. It's just like this generational swing that you can change a lot of lives, millions of lives, tens of millions of lives, if you're following the right person, learning the right lesson. Like, you got a group of men and women right here that are building their brands inside the brand, right? Mm-hmm. They have people that follow them now.
Yeah,
I follow those people. Are getting stronger.
There's people I follow,
and a lot of people are hesitant to
it's like a pyramid
join
scheme.
Something, follow something. They don't.
They're hesitant to submit.
Exactly, and if you're open to learning something, you have to admit that you don't know everything, right? You have to drop your ego. And it's really hard for a lot of people to do. It's amazing how much when people leave school, that's it. They just stop learning.
Oh yeah, that was me for years.
People don't care about reading books, don't care about learning new things. They just go along with life and let life happen to them.
Yeah,
they
how
get a
often
job,
is the
they
apple
just
phone?
go along. They just, they come against problems. And they react, but they don't actually forge ahead. They don't make a plan to make themselves better and take control of their life. They just react to life as it happens to them. Yep. You leave, graduate high school, graduate college. That's it. No more learning. I'm done. Mm-hmm. But to actually realize there's so much more out here to learn so that you can accomplish and do 10 times what you could be doing in just a 9 to 5. Some people don't take advantage of that and really harness the reins on their life and becoming better. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're all going to be poor. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get wiped out soon.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people...
Inflation is going to wipe them out if they're not learning new skill. And what you're saying is they have the 9 to 5, then 6 and 7 with the family, 8 with the family. How about 8:30 to midnight? Build your empire. That's how I built my machine in the beginning.
Wow.
I had to do it at night. Yep. I had to do it at night while running a car dealership.
Wow.
Before I even knew what I was doing it for. I just did it. And so it can be done by anybody. But, this ego, it's the ego that takes the perception or perspective away of who they could become is the know-it-alls with their big egos and things like that. So
Yeah.
Most
destroy a
people
lot.
didn't start where I started in life. So they haven't been through the pain that I've been through in order to want to never go through that again, and in order to always want to be better so that that doesn't happen again. I wrote a book on this a long time ago called Bulletproof Business, and to go through the pain that I've been through. And what happens for most people is they've never been through that pain, that much of a painful event, that they get trapped just being comfortable, right? And so they're like, that's good enough. My life is good enough. You know, things are good enough. I know that the second that I let good enough be the fucking thief of greatness, I'm fucked. And I'm not great. I'm in the constant pursuit of greatness because I don't think we're ever the greatest version of ourselves. It's something that we're in constant pursuit of. And so many people, they get to a place where, you know, they grew up and they had good parents, and their parents made, you know, 6 figures combined household income, which is the average income in America right now for a household. And they grew up and they go make $80,000-$90,000 a year. And then all of a sudden they have a year where they make 150 and they're like, oh, this is good enough. Right. Yeah. And it's not a money thing. Just hear me out. They go and they've always been kind of skinny. So, you know, they go and they put a little bit of weight on in the gym or whatever. And they're like, they never push themselves. It's good enough. You know, I show up to the gym twice a week. I do a couple sets of bench press, legs on Monday. It's good enough. And then that good enough doesn't outpace what you call an inflation, but life's inflation. Mm-hmm. Because as you get older, going to the gym twice a week is not enough, and it doesn't become good enough. It starts to have a decline, right? As you get older and you're making 150 grand a year, if you're still making 150 grand a year 10 years from now, inflation for the monetary side of it has gone up. So now your 150 grand's 120, and then 5 years later it's 100, and then 5 years later it's 90, and then 5 years, and so people get trapped in this good enough until it's so fucking painful because they didn't step up. And so I'm trying to get ahead of that. I'm trying to make sure that I'm ahead of that so that it's never good enough. Oh, cool. We had a $100,000 day. Fuck, that's not good enough, man. We got to fucking keep going. Oh, we had $1 million day. It's not good enough. We got to keep going. Oh, we had 2,000 people show up at an event. It's not good enough. We need 3,000. It's not about the money. It's just that I know as soon as I let good enough be good enough, then greatness will slip out of my fucking fingertips. And so many people, they miss that because they've never been a millionaire, and then had to go drive themselves and park the fucking car in front of federal prison and lose it all. It was not good enough. I thought it was good enough to be a millionaire. It fucking wasn't, because within fucking 1 minute walking across the threshold into that prison, it was fucking gone. It was I know how quickly things can be taken from you. Within 1 minute, free, walk across this threshold, take your watch off, take your ring off, take your clothes off, lift your nuts, squat, cough, like fucking, they've never been through that pain. They don't know the sense of one day having a dad and everything being good enough to the next day not having a dad and not seeing that guy for 20 fucking years later and it not being good enough. They don't know the pain of having a good enough marriage and then getting a divorce. They don't know these fucking pains. And, you know, like the U.S. military has died for your freedom. Jesus died for your freedom. I suffered to teach you guys how the fucking good enough is a fucking thief. Good enough is a curse. Good enough is the force of average lying to people. And you know what? I had to go through all these pains to be this example of why good enough is not good enough. And I would be willing to do it all again if I could fucking just help people. And it's never about look at the Ryan Stewman story and this guy's got this. I have the car for 2 reasons. One, because I know that it takes shit like that for motherfuckers to go, oh, he's winning, right? Number 2, it's a 2-seater. I have a family of 6. I get one-on-one time with my kids. The only reason I still have a McLaren right now is because when me and Colton are sitting in that car together, he tells me stories that he wouldn't tell me in front of his brothers or his mom. When Jackson's sitting in that car, he asks me questions that he wouldn't ask in front of his brother or sisters. And that's our one-on-one dad times. The only reason I still have that car, because I have no fucking use for it at this point, because I've proven my point, right? Like people don't, and you know, the reason why I wear a Rolex is so when somebody sees me, they're like, oh, that's the significance of him winning, because I need to prove that anything's possible. But the truth is, I'm showing you that good enough is not, because in an instant I could lose that car. In an instant I could lose these fucking watches and have to sell them. In an instant, any of these things can happen. And I would go through all of this again if I could just continue to help people and show them what's possible. The people that watched me 3-4 months ago, and I remember there was this named Melissa, and she's like, it's the fucking end of an era. Another guru falls. No, you fucking. It's not the fucking end of an era. I fucking know. I've watched you fall on your fucking face 15 fucking times and not go to the gym and not clean your life up and not pay your fucking clients that you stole from. And you want to bring me down to your level? No. I'm not good enough. I'm fucking chasing greatness, motherfucker. Know that shit.
Hashtag suck it,
You
Melissa.
know?
That's standing on business. We can end there. That was powerful shit, man. You got me going. I'm ready to go take
shit
over the
like
world.
that, it drives me because, you
that's
think
what I'm
I'm
with
good.
all day
Just
long.
because you quit at the first sign of adversity. You don't give refunds or fucking pay people back when shit fails. Doesn't mean I'm any fucking thing like you, bitch. I'm fucking nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm built for this shit. I built something called the Bulletproof Business. If Apex goes under, I got Closer Capital, phone sites, 48/7 Live, fucking ranch, fucking cattle, pecans, fucking. I got fucking real estate portfolio worth more money than most people ever see in their fucking lifetime. Like, you'd have to fucking attack me with 15 different armies towards 15 businesses, and then I still got it up here.
Yeah.
You still didn't, unless you fucking lobotomize my fucking ass, you still can't take it from me.
Yeah.
Don't lobotomize them.
Because I know that it's never good enough. You know, people say, Stewman, when's it going to be enough? I don't know. The day I die, motherfucker.
Your last breath.
The day I die, it'll be enough. And I'll die knowing it was enough.
Yeah.
I won't die going, man, fuck, I should have done this. I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have been with my home at my wife every night. I should have fucking built a business. I should have ran with that idea. Fuck no. I'm going to die and be like, I left it all on the motherfucking field. Take me home, Jesus. You know?
The last breath is like that. What's the end game for people like us? It's our last breath.
Absolutely.
I talk to my daughter that way. I tell her a lot because she's a lot like me. She's a real hustler.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and she asked me, she goes, when's enough for you, Dad? Not asking like, when's enough, but like when she seriously asked, like, when's enough for you? I said, on my last breath.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it all I have. Now that I've found this way at 39 and I made a decision to never live that way again, comfortable, I'm going to run hard, Taylor. I'm going to put people in the ground that come against me. I'm going to elevate people that want to rise with me, and it's going to be a beautiful life. And you said something real powerful last week. The 1 to 8 million range is dangerous. You're 1 or 2 mistakes away from being completely wiped out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. They get to that range and they get comfortable. That guy we talked to, 5 million. What's your net worth? That's not 5 million. That's 1 mistake away from being gone, brother.
Yeah.
And they don't think that way and they don't see that. And so they slow down because now they got it. They get to that million or 2 or 3 and they start locking onto it and holding it tighter than ever when they need to take more risks to what got them there, from what I'm understanding from you.
Grant Cardone said it best. He said, the biggest risk to being a millionaire is being a millionaire because you think you actually have a lot, because you've been programmed that it's a lot and it's not a lot. And then what happens is you spend all this time and you make it. And I'm paraphrasing at this point, but you spend all this time making it and then you start to protect it. The second you start to protect it and you're not making it anymore, what happens, Sean?
Swoop in and take them.
No. It starts declining because now I'm protecting what I have, and inflation and cost of rising goods and taxes going up. Taxes always go up. Inflation always goes up. If inflation don't go up, taxes go up. They gonna get it from you. So the moment that I'm not making it anymore and I'm trying to protect it, what I'm protecting is going down in value. It's going down in perceived value. It's going down in actual value. It's getting taxed. It's getting deflated and everything else. So the second that I get and I think I've made it and I stop trying to make it, then what I'm holding on to is just a matter of time before it's fucking gone.
Poof.
You don't even have to make a mistake. You know, people say, oh, I put $1 million in the bank account, live on 10%. That's $10,000 a month. And I can have that. And that pays my bills, or $10 million and it's 50 grand, whatever the math is. Yeah. Until something happens economically, and 10 grand a month ain't shit because we went to war. We don't control these old motherfuckers that run the country. They could be marching into war right now and fucking devalue. BRICS could come up and devalue our currency to where it ain't shit. So you think you got $1 million in cash or $10 million in cash, 20 million? What if one day we elect some president 10, 15 years from now and he's like, cash is trash. We're all on digital currency and we're not going to take any fucking cash that you got laying around. We're starting from scratch. What the fuck happens then?
I'm biased.
They already did it once. They said
the
cash
idea
is
of
backed
having
by
a
gold, and it's not
well-balanced
anymore.
portfolio.
Yep.
They already did it once. What's the history repeats itself? What's to keep it from doing that? Oh, you got cash now. We're using Bitcoin. Fucking in London, in the UK a few years ago, they got rid of the pounds and went on to the euro. I think they're back to pounds now because there was a lot of resistance, but they went on to the euro. So if you had pounds, now you're trading currency against the euro. All they had to do was rate, at that time, the euro was like 4-1 US dollars. And let's say it was 4-1 UK pounds. And now all of a sudden you're trading in $1 that you worked all your life for, and it's worth a fucking quarter. And then they'd lower it back down to $2, the euro. And so they just fucked you out of half of your money, and you had no fucking choice. None.
No choice.
Who's to say that some fucking asshole in Congress right now, Lindsey Graham or Nancy Pelosi or one of these fucking pieces of shit, aren't sitting around trying to figure out how to fuck us out of something? I guarantee you they're not sitting around going, you know what, we really need to help the American people make more money so that they could get other people in power. I fucking guarantee you that conversation's not happening. And so people don't understand just how fucking fickle their situation is. No matter if you're worth 100 million, 10 million, or 100 grand, you're in fucking trouble at all times. There's a guy named Dan Carlin, and he has a podcast series called The End Is Always Near. And people need to listen to that because we're always 2 fucking seconds from something fucking up and the end being right in front of us. We could have been watching the solar eclipse yesterday and the fucking nukes come after us for all we fucking know. You know, they're about to put Ukraine in NATO. Fucking Russia's talking about partnering up with Texas and supplying them with weapons if we decide to fucking secede from the United States. Like, there's a lot of fucking shit that at any moment could be cool forever, could be trouble.
Yep.
You know,
people won't even believe you when you say that Russia could be partnering with Texas.
Oh, it was in the news yesterday. I've been saying that for 6 fucking months because I know people. Yeah. But it was actually in the news yesterday that Russia has agreed to supply.
Backs Texas.
If Texas decides to secede, Russia will supply the fucking weapons. It was actually in the U.S. news yesterday. But I knew that shit 6 months ago. I'm not gonna fucking say why, but I'm gonna be the president of Texas one of these days.
You start planting my heirloom seeds.
But when I'm president of Texas, you know what will happen? It will be about the fucking people. We will empower the people. Personal excellence will be the fucking requirement to be a Texan. Oh, you're here and you're not committed to personal excellence? Go the fuck back to wherever the fuck. There's 2 things. A, our creed will be personal excellence. The country of Texas, where we are bound by personal excellence. And then we're going to annex Oklahoma.
I love that. And then if someone claims they make it, just tax them on it.
Yeah, and these motherfuckers that say they make $100-200 million a year, we're not even going to fucking have them file paperwork. We're just going to we'll shut all these influencers up real quick. Texas will not be the country for influencers because if you're telling people you made $300 million in a year, we're not going to fucking audit you. We're not going to ask for your financials. We just going to send you the fucking tax bill or send you to jail because personal excellence isn't manipulation. It isn't lies. It's personal fucking excellence. That's what this country will be about. And those that aren't interested in personal excellence won't fit into the fucking culture here. That's how our country, the United States of America, that's how it used to be. That's what the Constitution is. It's things that make a country about personal fucking responsibility and excellence. And we will bring that shit back. And it won't be a race thing. It won't be a foreign thing. It won't be you're Muslim committed to personal excellence, brilliant. You're Mexican committed to personal excellence, brilliant. You're African committed to personal excellence, brilliant. We will have open arms for everybody that wants to make this fucking country better, and anybody that tries to shit on that, manipulate, lie, fucking cheat, steal, they can go live in California or wherever the fuck else is around here.
It just won't be in Texas.
It just won't be with us. Hey, you know what?
You got the first lady right next to me.
We don't hate you, and we're not racist or sexist or misogynist or anything like that. But if you're not committed to the goal of this country, there's a seat at other places that will be more at tables at other places that'll be more accommodating to the losers.
Yeah.
So if you're the president, am I the first lady? Or are you gonna give me a job?
Am I the governor? Texas? Mayor?
Of
something?
Of like Collin County, governor of Collin County.
Yeah, you go governor.
Because if we're a country, the counties would all of a sudden be like states, municipal, and like, you know, what's another word for a state?
Should be VP.
We'd just be president, vice president,
vice president, first lady.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to be anything like the United States. So why not be president and vice president, right? Like the president gets elected and he's like, you know, my wife, shut up. Right? Like in America, that's how it is. Like Melania, she's got like Michelle Obama, she wants the food to be better in schools or whatever. They give them these little fucking, she's just a woman type of fucking titles. Why not be like, hey, this is the king and the queen. This is president and vice president.
Yeah.
You know, this is leader and co-leader, right?
That makes a lot of sense, actually, alluding to like the king queen.
I like
Yeah.
that.
reference
And
from-
you have a setup.
The king
where,
of Texas does have a ring to it, though.
That is the king of Texas.
But I don't want to be a king because that dictates.
King of
I would like the
Ryan.
title of just leader. Right, it's the president of Texas, but I'm the leader of Texas. That's it. I'm leading by example of how we can all commit to personal
Just call
excellence
you
to be better.
Fucking
El
great when we
Patron.
look back at this podcast and you're the president of Texas. What's your boy's name that owns the largest private security
I'd
company?
rather not say.
Okay, but you got that in your pocket. You got that in your pocket.
I do.
You got that going for you as well, and some insider information that's pretty crazy. So, president of Texas, 2030.
No,
They're
no,
like 2040.
So
Yeah, it would have
God
to be a
spoke to
2040.
me and He told me 2040 was the year that I was going to be president, and this was like 5 years ago. And I thought, okay, running for president of the United States, maybe I can build a social media profile and build up my businesses big enough. I'll be old enough to where I'm not worried about attacks and having thick skin and things in a sense because of what they did to Trump. But then about 2 years ago, man, as things started getting really weird, I was like, I'm not going to run the country that I thought I was going to run. I'll be leading Texas. You know, I'm a Texan. Like, we're about to put a flagpole in front of this building. We're not going to fly the American flag on it. And if you fucking don't like that, don't come to our state. I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't have the American flag on my truck. I don't wear shit with the American flag. And I'm not anti-American. I'm pro-Texan. There's a big difference. I've not lived in America in every little state. Like, my wife's lived in several different states. I haven't. I've been fucking in Collin County for 44 fucking years. That I was 23, 24, 25 years old before I even left this state. I love it that much. I don't think you could find another motherfucker in the state that loves it more than I do and cares about it as much as I do, because this is where I grew up. This is my homeland. This is the motherland for me. And I am an American and I got to pay federal taxes, you know, but the truth is I'm a Texan.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because Texas is also going at it with the feds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? We won't have to pay federal taxes if Texas is a country, and there won't be an income tax. There will be property taxes in the same with the situation we have in Texas right now. We have billions of dollars in surplus, so there's no need for me to impose income tax on people. So if you want to move here and you want to live here and thrive here and you don't want to pay income taxes, the tax is personal fucking excellence. That's the tax.
That's it.
We have sales tax and property tax. That's all we fucking need.
Imagine the surplus once the federal tax is taken away.
Oh, dude.
Game over.
Be a
Imagine
powerful country.
Imagine the people of my
Unreal.
country having 25 to 38% more income to spend at local businesses and buy properties and pay property tax on it and invest in cattle that makes them even more money and invest in building buildings and building high rises. Like, dude, I got a plan for this shit.
You got a plan.
That's it. That's all you
here
need is
for
a
it.
plan.
That's it.
Let's go.
I'm here for it.
Well, where do we go from here? Because that's powerful. I don't know where to take this. 'Cause I'm excited. I'm
I
ready
think that's
to
what
go
we
to
plan
work.
on talking about today, but I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah, so am I. You see your new Miami Vice office? Did you hear the rumor that's going around the word?
Phil Collins' plan.
Dude, it feels like Miami Vice. You walk in, you got the lights, you got the mirrors on the thing.
I got some neons and a pink Mac and some shiny things, and
Out of
everybody's like,
control.
"Ooh," and I'm like, "Yeah,
It's good, man.
you know,
We're rolling.
just trying to lighten things up around."
That
here.
gets me excited, dude, when you think about it, because I believe it. I can see it. I can close my eyes and I can see it. President of Texas.
Man,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say
Yeah.
something totally
He's gonna
like
look so good at 65 and be like, "Hello, Mr. President."
it's not about looking good. It's can I lead the people to want to
Oh,
be
you're
better.
gonna do both great. I'm just
and
saying.
and what is more Texan than hard truth and no manipulation? Right? What is like I grew up in the country in Texas in Fannin County. I lived in 3 counties in Texas. Fannin, besides prison, Fannin, Collin, and Dallas County, right? My whole life I've spent time in those 3 counties, nothing more, nothing less. I've never had a resident outside of those counties that I've ever lived in. And when I was in Fannin County, it's a smaller place. The town of Leonard's 1,500, 1,200 people. And everybody there was just brutally honest with each other.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they did.
Yeah, that's how I
You
grew
know,
up.
Jim, you fucking stole from Bob. You need to fucking make that right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Small towns have accountability.
they have accountability.
That's
you
what's
know?
lacking in
That's
big
why
cities.
Jason Aldean has that song, Try That in a Small Town. It's because there's accountability in small
Exactly.
towns. What happens, in my opinion, I don't have the numbers to back this up because it's impossible to get them. But in my opinion, they make a city like Dallas big, and then they're like, oh, Dallas is extremely Democrat. But is it? Or do we just, there's so many people there, you could never know all the people who voted? Is it really?
Yeah.
Does it really lose Texas values, or is there some sort of manipulation going on there to where you think, oh, there must be the people in the east, west, south, north side that are fucking degenerates that are voting for this shit or that are causing this shit? Is it, or is there some manipulation there? You know,
Massive amounts of
massive
manipulation.
amounts of manipulation. You're like, oh, you know, it must be the rich guys in the front that are voting for this, or it must be the fucking poor people in the back that are voting for this. And the truth is, you can't know everybody, so there's no accountability to go, hey, Amy, you live in, you know, West Dallas. Why the fuck did you vote for this, right? But in a small town, the mayor gets in there and you're like, Monaco, did you vote for that moron that's going to tax us more? The fuck did you do? You voted for the dude that's going to fucking impose a tax on our farmland? You own a farm, motherfucker. What are you thinking? Right? And Monaco knows that's coming his way. He's like, I'm not fucking voting for that shit. I own a farm.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't know everybody, so, you know, and it's impossible to always know everybody, but, you know, I feel like that too. So back to the tinfoil thing. I saw something yesterday on TikTok. And they said the solar eclipse happening yesterday put our dimensions, because we do exist in different dimensions, put our dimension back on the original timeline it was back in 2017. So we had been off. So I have this theory. Let's go deep for a minute here. And this may get me unelected. I just got elected, and now I might get unelected. But there's this company called CERN, CERN.
Oh yeah.
And CERN has something called the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. Okay. And what this thing does, and I'm going to be slightly off by the numbers, probably under more than over, but it spins atoms around at 16 million revolutions per second inside of a 12-mile fucking radius. So like 16 times around 16 million times around a 12-mile radius per second. That is so fucking fast. And they smash these atoms into each other and they create smaller particles, because up until recently, we thought an atom was the smallest particle in the world. Well, they have uncovered something that there's another name for it, but it's called the God particle, right? And it's the actual thing that creates the actual things. It's the infinite dimension particle. So in 2012, when the end of the world was supposed to happen, remember that? The Mayan calendar running out and everything else, right? What happened in 2012 that most people aren't talking about is they turned that thing on for the first time. And it happened, and they discovered these particles. Then, and so this thing, the Large Hadron Collider, created, I feel like it reversed the polarity. Sometime, if you were looking back, people, if you were looking back, in 2012, right was right, wrong was wrong. You know, Obama was a good president, in my opinion. Clinton was a good president, in my opinion. Bush's first session was pretty good. Bush Sr. fucking sucked. But now all of a sudden, fucking Republicans are the Democrats were the cool people. Now all of a sudden, Democrats are the fucking weird people. A lot of them, not all of them, but the super liberals. They didn't exist under Obama and Clinton like they are now. Like, good went to bad. People went to jail for drugs. People went to jail for beating up cops. Now they just get let out with no bond. They just fucking, drugs are everywhere. Drugs are free. And like good, like I think it reversed a lot of the polarities, right? And they've turned this thing on 3 fucking separate times. To my knowledge, it may have been more at this point. What most people don't know,
tell us.
This is it.
Is before the Large Hadron Collider existed in Switzerland, it was in Waxahachie, Texas.
Shut the front door.
And they were building something called the Super Collider. Oh. And in Waxahachie, Texas, an hour up the road south of Dallas.
Doesn't sound good.
And they built this huge facility underground and did all this shit. And then all of a sudden, scientists started committing suicide. Probably the Clintons. Scientists started committing suicide. People backed out of it. People pulled money out of it because they didn't want that to take place in this state. Our Senate stopped funding it and everything else. And now it's a paint factory for who's the biggest paint provider?
Sherwin-Williams.
Sure, no.
Bear.
It's yes. And so now, and they built all these mansions around it. It was on the news every week. And then one day it's just all abandoned. Nobody lives in those mansions anymore. A paint factory took over the place, which is fucking suspect anyway, right? And so, and so I say this because I saw this the other day, yesterday, that now this solar eclipse is actually going to bring us back into alignment that we missed from 2017 and put us back on the same timeline that we were on before. And this person was really, I'm not the most brilliant person. I just simplify everything. But this person had all these reasons. And it wasn't like, because the moon and the tarot cards. It was actually very scientific reasons for that. And I woke up this morning, and after I saw that yesterday, and I was pretty excited. Because and the reason why I'm excited, it's not like, oh, I had my horoscope read and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, the world has reversed its polarities. And if it took that travel around in that alignment, we can all agree that the sun keeps us alive. So we can all agree that there's something to that.
Right.
And if it was to put us back on that timeline where good will finally be better than evil again.
Yeah.
Right will be right. Wrong will be wrong. Personal excellence will be personal excellence. Losers will lose. Winners will win. And it put us back to the polarity because we know this. We have a North Pole and a South Pole, so we know there's polarity on this planet. And if that was the thing that put us back into the correct polarity, I'm excited for the future. Now, I don't know if that's the case because I'm not a scientist and I could barely explain how the Large Hadron Collider even fucking works. Hadron Collider works, but I know that a lot of that has stuff. So I feel like if we're back on that timeline, because we've watched evil win for a long time now.
We have.
For about 9 years.
It's been really hard too.
It's cringy.
Dealing with it. Yeah. Especially in the schools.
For
really
about
hard.
9 years, we've watched evil really prevail. We're confused on what bathrooms to use, and look.
Just crazy shit that like back then you'd be like, no, there's no way they're doing that.
And listen, if a dude wants to wear a dress, cool, do that. You're free. It's fucking America. That's awesome. I don't recommend doing that in Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Palestine, or anywhere else, but our country is open to that, right? Cool. But if you have a dick and balls, go in the men's bathroom.
Well, no,
it's that simple.
Here's
You know what I mean?
too.
I don't want a woman and I don't want a woman dressed as a man in my bathroom. Why? Because they're dirty, right? I had to used to clean women's bathrooms up. They're fucking dirty too, right? There's like I don't want to walk in the men's bathroom and see a pad in there. I don't, right? I'm not built for that. It's not something that comes out of my body or my type of gender. It's disgusting to me. Just like a woman doesn't want to come in the bathroom and see pee all on the fucking seat, right? That's our responsibility as men. So if we can just get back to what's right is right and wrong is wrong, men being in men's sports, women being in women's sports, losers losing, winners winning, people that are committed to personal excellence, doing the right thing, people that aren't going to jail and getting in trouble for the things that they do that those things. I'm excited for that to happen. I'm really hoping that it does.
Absolutely. So am I. I think the 0.0% of the population that wants to be transgender should not be getting the
attention that they do.
Limelight that they're getting. And why are more women not up in arms about the woman of the year being a dude?
They are, but they're silenced.
What?
They
Who's
are, but they're
weird?
silenced. I don't know
What?
any.
Was that dude, the thing that was backing Coors Light and Bud Light and a spokesperson
Dylan Mulvaney
for Nike, Woman of the Year?
They put a dude in a
Pardon?
swimsuit on the
They
Sports
put-
Illustrated
They
cover.
put Dylan Mulvaney as Woman of the Year in Nike. Are you fucking
Woman of
kidding
the
me?
Year last year. Like it's just
last year.
ridiculous. Why isn't the the NCAA
I didn't know they did a Woman of the Year.
about like Man of the Year, Sexiest Man of the Year, Sexiest Woman of the Year, Woman of the Year, Man of the Year? It was
But
a
what
dude.
this
I never
really
saw
is,
that
It was
anywhere,
weird.
so thank God.
Just weird. It's like, and then
why can't he just be Man of the Year?
exactly?
Right? Why don't we make Dylan Mulvaney, if he's done some amazing stuff, which I don't know one of his accomplishments, he won a Nobel Prize. Did he cure cancer? Did he?
No,
do-
he's obnoxious.
Right, but okay, but why not just make him
Congratulations,
the
you're
Man of the
obnoxious.
Year?
People are
But
all
he's just the
have
Man
their
of the
eyes
Year.
on you 'cause
Okay,
you're
cool.
fucking
I'm willing to
crazy.
accept that a dude in dress becomes the Man of the Year. Cool. If he's done something exceptional and he wants to wear a dress, be the fucking Man of the Year. But you can never, no matter how hard you try, and no matter how many surgeries you have, you can never be the Woman of the Year because that's not what you are. It's not what God created you.
not what
So you
you
mean
are.
to tell me God that created us in his image that makes no wrong, knows the hair on your heads, the cells in your body, knows everything about you, goes, you know what, fuck, I got it wrong with this guy, but he's right.
Yeah.
Well, the Vatican came out yesterday and said that they are against all of that.
That's
God.
because the solar eclipse. We're going back to the right timeline.
There it is.
Because they had
polarity's
taken a
happening.
different position for a while, and
They
they just
did.
flip-flopped that on yesterday. Praise the sun, right? Like,
Yep.
you know,
We're on to something.
we're fucking coming
Looking
back.
forward to it, dude.
You seen that movie?
Thank goodness.
What's the movie with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy? Trading Places, right? You remember the bums that are sitting in the trash can, and he drops that money up, and he goes,
back,
Mortimer, we're
Mortimer."
back.
Mortimer, wake up.
Yeah, we're
Wake
back.
We're back.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That was great.
That's right.
That was a good one. I think we end on that. That was powerful.
I like it.
I like it.
Standard
Yeah, I can
business
definitely see what
podcast.
you mean, though. You know, the Vatican comes out yesterday after you just made that comment or that statement.
That's a valid
We're
point.
back.
But here's what I do
Get
know
the
for
teachers
everybody
in order
watching
and we're rolling.
you get what you focus on, so why don't we focus on getting back on the right timeline?
Yeah, back to good.
Yep, back to good.
helping.
You know what?
being
Hey,
better.
let's Dylan. Congratulations. Just be dude of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner, be dude of the year if that's your thing. Cool. No problem. Whatever. You know.
Got your back.
I'm not going to support you because I'm not going to pay your bills and shit like that. But if you won, you won. Cool. Just be dude of the year. It's that simple.
Coming up next, meet the Stewmans. Have a great day.